So okay, let's welcome Peter.
Cool. Yeah, I have a mic. All fine.
Guys, where is presentation?
It's okay.
Actually, we should anticipate this.
Yeah. Oh, I can also do an hour without a presentation. It's fine.
So maybe you can start and
Okay, yeah.
and say a few words about the history
Yeah.
of your company and your idea why you have founded it.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good idea. So, when I got invited here, first of all, I was excited because my first time in Russia. Actually, the connections from us came over a VC, and he said, yeah, probably you should connect, and it makes sense for you to speak here. And I thought, okay, what would be the one thing, kind of what can I bring here as value? Because kind of my background is business background. Yeah, I can develop, I understand most of the core tech, but kind of when I look around, when I look on your screens, when I look in the talks, I thought, okay, where is the point where I really can bring some value on the table, and kind of what's interesting for you? And actually, I founded the company, the SaaSco, the Sales as a Service company. I named it because I wanted to have a name where it expresses what we are doing. And I didn't want to have sales in the name, and I thought I didn't got the URL, and then kind of having sure it was also the Facebook, so easy. Yeah. So the SaaSco 3 years ago, and actually I sold it 2 weeks ago. And I thought, okay, probably I'll just let you know all the learnings, what I took out of the time, and especially what you can do, and kind of how the end setup looked, and what kind of was all the material, what I found, and what really helped me kind of going this way. Because actually in the beginning, everything started more like with the thought, oh, we need to help all the startups, all the young companies to sell the products. Because there are so much great products out on the market, but no one finds it. Yeah, it's actually the normal way of a startup, or like of people starting a business and a product is, oh, we have such a great product. All the servers will get blown when we get online, and nobody gives a fuck. Yeah, kind of, to be honest. And then the second point is, okay, we have to do some marketing. So there's some marketing's going on, and then they see, there's not a few people are coming, friends and family is coming, so thanks, mom, for buying. But actually, okay, let's buy some advertising. Okay, you're spending money on Google, on Facebook, but still it's not kind of exploding like how it should be. Yeah? And then they realize, okay, I have to do sales. And after a certain time, they realize, okay, one person is not a sales strategy, and it's not kind of the way for just ruling the world, yeah, and finding everyone and getting everyone on point and on the table, and that everyone finds, gets the product, and buys it. So we thought, okay, actually I need a strategy. I need something to do, and this is kind of the point where the SaaSco started. So we helped companies to sell the product. Why the idea? Because I helped building up before another startup. It was an on-page SEO solution for analyzing websites, so big websites in the meaning of 100 millions or multiple millions subdomains. And I had the same problem, so I started with it. And kind of the core idea was, okay, we are running email outbound campaigns and generating leads for the people, because this was the most difficult thing. Actually, we thought, we take over the whole sales process, realized it was too hard and too complex. And because it was too complex, we said, okay, we'd only do this lead generation. So first learning, make it easier, take out all the complex, really find your focus, where you want to get into it. Yeah? And this was really also a failure, probably what I had until the end, but I tell you later. And then we did this process, and after like a year and a few thousand sales conversations, probably you could always already realize it after a few sales conversations, we realized, okay, it's always the same. And what do you do when you have always the same conversations? Okay, I don't have to tell you, sure, you're building more or less a bot, or you solve it as it's called then with AI. Now we have a screen. Ah, no worry. Just click.
Yeah, or
Press or click, whatever. Great. So actually, this was the process, what we went through with all of our customers, because over the time we realized, oh, not only the startups need help, and actually everyone has the same problem. Okay, I have something great, and I want to spread it. Yeah. So even like companies like Microsoft, the German Stock Exchange, Twilio, everyone needs help in sales, and we help them kind of. So we find the decision makers, contacted them, qualified them, and set appointments. Just easy process. And in the end, we thought, okay, we want really something what is kind of this end-to-end solution, but we didn't find something on the market. So again, kind of we always developed from, we have our own problem and want to have a solution for it. Yeah? It was not something where we thought, probably there is someone on the market who wants to buy it. It was always, okay, we have this problem and let's solve it. Yeah? And then LISA actually stands for Learning Intelligent Sales Agent, what we then kind of tried to develop. And LISA, actually, what she can do, what she could do, is she connects to email inboxes. She understands conversations and then draft replies. And for sure, kind of the big dream was for us to create this great one autonomous salesperson. So actually, everyone just has a product, comes to us, and Lisa is doing the rest. Yeah? So because nobody has to worry, all the developers can just develop, and actually, you don't need kind of the salesperson who always do kind of the same repetitive task. And for sure, the big goal was kind of to create something what kind of, in the end, also passes the Turing test. And passes the Turing test not only kind of on the level of email or in a chat, so really over all different channels. By the way, the only channel what we have worked on so far have been kind of the email channel. And actually, we had a few achievements over the 3 years. We got selected as one of the hottest startups. We got from Silicon Republic. We got selected as one of a few startups to present us in San Francisco at TechCrunch Disrupt. What else? Yeah, we got kind of Sales Innovation awards. And so actually, you see, I'm kind of try to put up my reputation so that you see at least it was something, or it's worth listen to all the features we made on this way. And actually, what I'm quite proud of, we built up a really great team. So we had 34 team members from actually 33 have been with an academic background. We have 19 different nations. Actually, it wasn't planned, but it's just happened. So it just happens when you kind of just search for the quality, and it's, yeah. So we got just this diversity in it. We got actually 4 PhDs, 2 who were just still writing in a PhD program. We even had or have a professor in the team who's half-time kind of teaching, half-time working with the companies, and you're kind of, in the end, even 3 company docs. So this has been our customers. what's quite interesting is later. So what do you do with your product? When you realize sometimes a big enterprise is just different to handle, but it's not more difficult to handle. Yeah, often kind of startups are way more difficult to handle than kind of the big corporates. Yeah, and we had from Twilio, Kotari, it's like all TIBCO is kind of a NASDAQ company, but we also had kind of the 3-person startups as customers, and over the time we had around like 100 customers who we worked for kind of and paid for the service, and for sure we had a lot of a person who just tried Lisa. And actually, just for you, because probably it's interesting for you how we build up Lisa, even it shall not be the focus, so cameras on me when it's possible. Actually, when we look at our tech, we have 50-50, yeah, 50% what was, copy and paste, kind of, we get more from the community, 50% what we really developed by ourselves. And just the typical, when you see we really switched quite widely in the beginning in the machine learning part. In the end, we have really strong on TensorFlow, also natural intelligence, it's a natural language processing part and generating part. There we have been quite strong. So we also had kind of the part that we had kind of more or less 3 teams. We had kind of the system team. Was more like 4 to 5 people. We had quite a big natural language processing, also natural language scientists. What also have been 5 people, and we have been the rest then machine learning. Mainly machine learning, mathematics. Yeah, this has been, but also 6 people, and the rest of us has been salespeople, by the way. So we didn't have like the 34 people just developers. We were like half-half, and like a little bit of overhead, like me as the CEO. So how does it look like? Especially quite interesting probably for you, the way of the text. What we did here, or what we see here, is we have kind of buyer question or seller reply, and then you can just follow the way through how the text goes. So we are selecting different flags, selecting different messages, and then coming kind of to a template creation. And what you see here, we have here synonym simplification and remove unused stop words. So actually, and then links on the left side, you see the different results. Yeah, and actually it's the version 1 of the raw parser, and this is kind of then the version 11 of the raw parser. What you see, we have different on the left side, different replacer units. Yeah, for example, for synonyms, stop words. Then we have different filters, what we are using, and we have different kind of template creations in there, kind of to find and pass then our messages. And for us, it was kind of really the big thing, yeah, kind of preparing our data. Really preparing the data was kind of the most important thing. We struggled quite some time in kind of how to split well the sentence, especially in German. Yeah, it's kind of in English, but especially in German, we really struggled with splitting sentence. And when you cannot split the sentence, you cannot suggest, okay, which one is important and what is important in a sentence, and cannot understand it. Yeah, but these are also parts where you probably know way better than I do. The system of Lisa kind of looked more or less like this, that we have like an image and we could flash this image kind of then into different locations. So we had kind of a dev cloud, a production cloud, and an enterprise private cloud. Why is it super important? Because we come later to it. Kind of data protection is always a really important thing when you work with enterprise customers. Never go kind of to an enterprise customer and say, hey, I have a great product. It's a black box. I'll add it to you. You throw in all your data, and you get some great results out of it. This will not work. Yeah, it's kind of, you really have to secure that this is working. And what you see, kind of, we have all the different instances for Lisa. We really verified with kind of how much Lisa installations we had on which instance. What also have access to all the trainings data, and had then a load balancer, what kind of automatically added or subtracted Lisa instances. And so kind of we always could develop. We always was easy kind of to flash and to work on the whole system. This is kind of how it looks inside one of the Lisa instances when we go back. Kind of here, Lisa instance. So kind of with all the things what we have. Kind of the whole system is running on AWS, as most of the startups are running. There are some pros and there are some cons. First of all, AWS is awesome. Why is it awesome? Because they're really supportive. So we got from them credits not once, we got from them credit twice. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but it was really great. They really helped us difficult times, so we got a lot of credits on them. They now have, at least in Germany, a person who's there for startups. You can ask, you have a technical person who's helping you. And for sure, you have the whole ecosystem, what makes us really, really fast in kind of developing. And as right now, most of the time, it's all about speed. Yeah, it totally makes sense, I think, to go to AWS. Besides that, also a lot of other suppliers have good programs. Yeah, if you put it then on Microsoft Azure, if you put it in the German Telekom cloud, if you put it to Google, everyone has programs and can give you kind of some credits. So don't forget to get all these credits, because also the people want to have you. Yeah, and they want to give you the credits, as in the end, sure, you are in the cloud, you have all these lock-in effects, and sure, kind of when you're running at full speed, you're not changing just your whole environment, because one negative thing, AWS, it's expensive. It really is expensive. So in the end, kind of we spend few thousands. I don't tell exactly how much, but multiple thousands. Still 4 digits, but it really is money. Yeah, it's money what you kind of have to pay each month. So just a last technical thing. I thought probably it's interesting for you. This is how our release process looked like. Yeah, it's really cool structured. You have actually in the middle of the release, there are RL and BP, our lead developers and the CTO, who always checked everything. And then it's kind of was like more or less a loop what you had. And you had all these kind of different areas, kind of for chunker, templates, text processing, idiom, synonym, antonyms, and kind of always someone who was leading, so a Python lead and an I lead, a linguistic lead. And then you always had kind of another Python developer who were supporting the whole process, and the team lead. And also we're checking the code, and through that we had kind of a nice circle, so that it always got into new tasks and bug fixes for the release. But now I want to tell you about the best time ever, and kind of how you can more or less build a company, and what are a few things and a few tools that I used, and kind of how I got through this process, kind of more or less to sales. So actually, I have a few beliefs why it's the best time ever. And sure, it's quite easy, and it's getting from all the smart minds who are telling this day in, day out. But these are my 3 beliefs. So I believe everywhere where it's possible to use AI, there will be AI. It's kind of the same like with software. It's kind of the same like with the whole digitalization. It's like, it's not this software will eat the world. It's like AI will eat the world. We come back later to this first one. So AI will be the new electricity. Right from Andrew Yang, it will be everywhere. Yeah, it's normally you have to think. You're so deep into this whole scene, and what you're doing. You're really at the top of the pyramid. Yeah, it's kind of when I tell you this is like one is like, yeah, sure. But it's like when you tell it somewhere else. There was like 2 weeks ago at one of the biggest consultancies in Germany, and said this kind of to the lead even tech people of big enterprises, and everyone was like, oh, wow, really? How do you mean that? Yeah, but it's so it's not this knowledge kind of that it will be everywhere and it will use for everything. Yeah, isn't so much even at the real and top positions in the industry. And actually, when you think about like electricity, saying also some second thing, electricity is just plug and play. It don't makes you different. Yeah, and it's quite a more or less commodity tool and a commodity what you have and what you can just pay for. So when you think it further, kind of right now AI can differentiate you, but in the future it will not, because everyone will have it. And I see kind of there the development a little bit like the app development. When you think like 6, 7, 8 years ago, it was quite complicated to make a really good app. Yeah, you normally had a big team, yeah, with multiple people working on it. And actually, the capability of creating an app, it's going down. It just takes you now a few hours. You can click and point. For sure, you don't have kind of the one solution who's kind of outblowing the world, yeah, and will be the number one app and solution kind of in the App Store. But actually, it's easy to make. Yeah. So when you want more, sure, it's still complicated and it still takes time, but it's getting easier and easier and easier. And also the access kind of to AI will get easier, easier, and easier. And we saw actually, and it sometimes hurts, that what you develop over time, and you really put love and effort in it, and then you see kind of Amazon AWS releasing it and say, okay, now everyone has access to it. Yeah, it's cool. Probably when we would have known it, we wouldn't put all the time and effort in it. And number third, the first, how to transform the products will own the market. This means when you take number one, all the solutions what are out there who can use AI will use AI. Someone has kind of to implement AI. And when I say AI, you know, I talk about neural networks, deep learning. It's someone kind of experts like you are experts in your field has to go and has to implement it. And the question is, okay, who will implement it first? And who will kind of see also kind of the next steps, what are possible? How do I mean that? When you take example in CRM system, CRM, customer relationship management system. When you take Salesforce and think, okay, this kind of was the past. And now there are multiple possibilities to put an AI system, yeah, in it to support it, to make it better, kind of to select the persons, to know what to do in the whole system. But actually, when you think it further, it's when I have like our plan was to have a super autonomous AI who just do everything in sales. for what do you need a CRM? Because the CRM is mainly for kind of organizing the person who's sitting in front and want to know, okay, what to do next. So, actually, how to build a company with neural nets as a base. A little bit the topic for today. And first, or actually not, you sure have to choose. As every tool that will come out, you have now the opportunity, because you have the knowledge, to use it way better than most of the industries. Why you can use it way better? Because you know the background of all the systems. Yeah? You know kind of by yourself kind of how to develop such a system. So this gives you a big advantage. Yeah? But what we want to talk about today for sure is kind of you're creating a product. Yeah? And you're creating a product based on neural networks and kind of how we did it. And for sure you can combine both, and it makes for sure sense to combine both. But first, when you start, and I think a lot of people don't really think about it, is kind of what kind of model are you choosing for your product? And this is really important to know, okay, do I have a product what needs kind of 100% accuracy, or do I don't need it? Yeah, and there are a few examples. Show kind of when a Tesla kind of drives off the road just once in 10,000 times or in 10,000 hours, it still sucks dramatically. Yeah, because probably a person is dying. Yeah, so there they need 100% accuracy. It's kind of XAI, another example. When I make an appointment, I more or less need 100% accuracy. Yeah? When I have a meeting with Michael and kind of XAI Amy fucks it up, is I probably never ever use it again. Because such a meeting is so valuable, you then don't use it. But there are for sure also enough other things, yeah, where when you have just 80%, the typical 80-90% accuracy, or a little bit 95% accuracy, it works quite fine, and people use it. And especially, I think we have right now one great development is like when you look, like Google Assistant, when you especially look at Alexa, yeah, it's what people have at their home. It's people are getting used to features. It's more like a game, yeah. It's like when you say Alexa, and Alexa says, "Hey Alexa, play a song," and she asks, "Shall I buy X, Y, Z?" You say, "No, Alexa, come on, yeah, it's not so bad. Please play a song," and you repeat it. So you're getting used to these features. So it's not as bad as it was before. Yeah, so you're getting more display, and you know you don't need this massive amount of data, and you have these high entry barriers when you just have a model where 100% accuracy is not needed. So actually, how to find an idea. There are multiple possibilities for you when you, for sure, afterwards want to start your own business. Actually, the first one is cornerstoning. Cornerstoning is coming. I worked before for Team Europe. Team Europe was, someone knows Rocket Internet here? Someone? What? No one knows Rocket. Okay, that's a good thing. No, it's not a good. It's actually a little joke. Actually, it's the most successful company builder in Germany, and they build things like the biggest clothing retailer, Zalando, in Germany, and they're super successful. But they are also a little bit hated because they had kind of the strategy to take models and then just go to other countries and duplicated it. But actually, I want to talk about Team Europe. So actually, we built companies there. Someone know Delivery Hero? Just big IPO. Yeah, at least well informed over the market. They got deleted. And actually, what I want to tell you is they built StudiVZ. It was kind of a pendant to Facebook because no, actually, what have they built before? They built before, I don't get it. But actually, they went to the US, bought advertising at Facebook. So okay, it's going like crazy. So they built like StudiVZ, and it has like 95% market share in Germany. Now has like 0, like all the other networks. And actually, then they realized, look, I have so much traffic on this website. What do I do with this traffic? So they built kind of an e-commerce shopping club, yeah, to send somewhere the traffic. So with cornerstoning, you mean you have a house and you probably find an idea at a corner, yeah, but normally not too much outside of the house. This means when you want to build a solution for a big enterprise, it normally makes sense to be somehow around a big enterprise. Yeah, if you do their summer program, if you have some relationship with them. This is the reason why students build solutions for students, because they know the life of students. Yeah, they know the problem of students. And it always makes sense, at least for you, to go somewhere when you want to build it. Yeah, you will not build an AI solution or a solution based on neural nets when you don't have a clue about it. Yeah, it's kind of so you're in a really good situation. So you did last week something really, really valuable. Yeah, because at least from the technical standpoint, you're kind of top notch and and you have the highest chance to find a solution what is combined with neural nets because you're the experts in neural nets. But kind of when you just know the word neural nets and think you want to do something with AI, you probably don't find the right solution or a good solution. Yeah? So it's always good kind of to combine and to go and hope for the unexpected, yeah, because it will happen, definitely. The second solution is just, okay, read 50 papers. Normally, then you have some idea and think something is really, really cool. Then third, actually my favorite version is when you have a really, really big problem. Yeah, something where you get fucking annoyed every day. Really, really annoyed, where you say, cannot be true. Solve it. Yeah? A lot of people say, don't look at you and then look at the market because you're an individual. I think it's a perfect thing to do. Look at you, think how are you. When you have a big problem, where you know one big problem, there's a good point that a lot of people will have this problem, and you can use it, solve it, and build a company on it. And actually, the fourth point is kind of just looking into the market. It's about this idea, everything what hasn't a neural net, some deep learning mechanisms in it so far, and it's possible to have it in it, and it makes sense, we'll have it. So you can just look into the market, see what's out there, what hasn't, what don't have it, and then kind of for yourself build a grid and fill it. So I also take it to show you a little bit the market, kind of how it's developing over just since December 2014. It's not so long ago. Yeah. When you look here in the different fields, what we have and what you can look, especially for enterprises. So you have sales, you have security, you have fraud detection, and so HR, you have marketing. So you have personal assistance, intelligent tools, then rethink industries. You for sure can afterwards read it for yourself. So when we look just December 2015, it's already way more crowded, yeah, what we have. And for sure, these are also tools what you can use kind of later for your company. And think about it, you probably can use them way better than the average user can use it because you have all the insights in kind of how the background is working. Yeah? And you can also evaluate, does it really brings the value? Yeah? And does it do what you expect to do, and does it make sense? Yeah? Because you have this background knowledge, and it's so valuable at this time. You're kind of really experts in the field. You researched like hell, yeah? Especially in San Francisco, definitely in Berlin. I don't know how it is here, yeah? But it's like everyone kind of want to have someone of you, yeah? Better 2 or 3. So, and when we just go to the November 2016, you see it's growing and growing and growing, and there are more and more companies are coming up. But don't get afraid when we look kind of in the marketing landscape. There is so much more to discover and to grow. And actually, the funny thing is, when you look at these landscape, the years before they looked exactly the same. And then over time and time and time got crowded like this. So you can do the same with chatbots. Yeah? Think about all the solution what you have where it makes sense kind of to have a chatbot, where it makes sense not kind of to go on a website and kind of click through and have probably more than 10 clicks. You can build a chatbot on it. Yeah? Look at the chatbot theme, see, okay, which area doesn't have it, shouldn't be any problem for you. And then just put it out and test it. So the important thing when you think about your idea and kind of about this whole company building, it's one of my main points, is this AI will become electricity. And AI is more or less a little bit behaving like electricity. Why? In the end, AI in the moment is a cool buzzword to get you kind of into conversations, get you into conversations with venture capital, with customers. But actually, nobody cares. The question is, what is your value out of it? So what do you solve? Yeah? So when you develop something, it's not develop something because it's possible or there has to be kind of some result out of it, yeah, more or less. And there has some valuable result. And kind of the people will come to you because they want the result. How you get to the result? Normally, most of the people, as long as you don't kill someone for that, or do something really bad, they don't care. It's really the result what brings you the new people. So actually, what also say is like the best neural net is no neural net. Yeah? When you can solve it just easily and you don't need it, then don't use it. Yeah? It's for what? So when I say about kind of these, think about the value, and this is really a learning kind of from these 3 years what I have. It's kind of this easy truth, yeah, what you normally can read everywhere. It's like, so the top 4 things what you should do when you build a company. Yeah, they have a lot of truth in it, yeah? And you always should get back and think about it and ask yourself every day, hey, when this would be my company, what would I do different? And by the way, you will often find something, yeah? Because it's just a way, and just to give everything a direction, it's really this vision mission for what are you doing it, yeah? Because the question, should be there a neural net, should be there any other solution, what is the solution? It's all the question you have to ask yourself, not only what you want to do then with your life, but probably this is kind of matching then what when you do with your life and what is kind of the goal. What do you want to do? You have to have a clear vision mission. And you see here is kind of not number one, you have to have a great team. Because normally you have a clear idea where you want to go, and then the team is changing. Yeah? It's just, it comes over time. Yeah? Also kind of your product will change, and your solution number one with what you start will change. But kind of this core idea why you're doing it and why you have to do it, because you think it's great, and this definitely should be solved because I have this great problem, and it's so bad every day. This has to be solved, and I think this is the thing what I want to do. This will stay the same. The product will change. Here we kind of had 3 switches over the time and developed and developed and developed further. Yeah. It's like just, hey, I want to use TensorFlow and do something. It's like no one says, so hey, I'm using Python. So hey, So for what? Yeah, it's always like know where you want to go and what you want to sell. So, but second place is definitely team, and it's like also something what stands kind of everywhere, but it's so true. It's in the end, sure, they're probably in the future everything AI, what is doing all the work, but so far it's kind of your smart brains who can kind of put it together, and kind of everything, every result of your company and what you're doing is the result kind of your brains and what you do. Yeah, so really take the time for really when it's your company, talk with everyone you're hiring, and don't hire someone where you think, I don't know. You have to be excited about this person. You really have to be excited. You have to think, wow, this is really when he's not getting into my team, I'm kind of, oh, it would be so bad. Or it would be the best thing ever when he would be in the team, because then we are so strong. Yeah, and I really like this guy. This is the second component, what's really important. Just, oh, he will make us, I think he's really valuable person, don't like the character, but he knows, oh, fuck it. When you don't like him, or you at least have a slice path of you not liking him, never ever do it. Believe me, it sucks so bad. It's like you put time in it, and it always will getting worse. And by the way, in the point when you're losing trust, yeah, and there in this person, what you're not liking too much, you already more or less lost your trust in them, and the person is you have to fire him immediately. Not kind of you can sleep over it, overslept, but you have to fire him. It's so hard, but really you have to do it. It's not getting better when trust is lost once. You have no chance that it's coming back. Even you tell yourself it's coming back, and I told myself often it's coming back, and yeah, come on, and it will be, and it's fine, and it's misunderstanding, and no. When trust is gone, you have to fire the people. It's way better for the team. It's way better for you. It really brings you further. Yeah. So second is also diversity. Yeah. It's a lot of founders, I think, have the feature that they like to sleep with themselves. Yeah. They think they're so great, but it's also kind of when you're a great developer and in a specific field, you probably at least need a developer in a different field. Or even better, you have then a third person who's kind of doing kind of the business part. Yeah? And you also can be from the character differently. Have diversity in nationality, have diversity in gender. Yeah? It sounds strange, but I really believe that these are really the better teams. Because when everyone's just thinking the same, you don't get to new solutions. And startups is nothing else than kind of finding solutions for things what you don't know how to do it. Yeah. And from this way, really look that you have some diversity. And yeah, as I said, build your time and culture. It sounds so weak, but it's often way more important that you go out and drink a beer with your team than kind of to sit 2 hours longer. But it's also important that kind of you live this culture, yeah? Because when you're not there and starting at point 9, you cannot tell anyone to be there, yeah? And there are people, you will feel it, who really build this culture. Who's the ones who say to the new person, the first, hi, nice that you're here, helping them with the email account. It's the ones who kind of bring cookies into the office. It's like all this. And I also tell you why. It's just, for sure, for me as the BWL, as the business guy, it's pure business. And because you have a big advantage out of it. Happy people work so much more productive and way better than people who are like just, yeah. And think about what I said. You're people who are search so hard on the market. Yeah? You can expect that when you have the possibility to get on LinkedIn, someday, probably, I don't know what the network is here in Russia, but at least you get every week or every second week, yeah, someone writing you, hey, you're searching for a new opportunity, I have this great job for you, yeah? And what the people keeps you is your vision, mission, because they think it's a really valuable thing to do, and the colleagues. Those are the two things, yeah? And when people kind of leave you, they not leaving normally the company, they are leaving you. They're leaving you as a boss. So it's you sucked. So I had the points that I sucked. It's hard, but it is like that, yeah. They normally they don't even say because the colleagues are assholes. Nah, I never heard this, never. They normally leave the boss or there's something else where they, also second one, they cannot develop themselves any further. They thought, okay, I can develop, but cannot. And be honest in the beginning. When you talk to the people, they say, it's the hottest shit ever, everything will be so awesome, and it is already so awesome, and they are coming and then realizing, okay, it's work and nothing, then it's probably also lack of trust. Lack of trust can be also from your employees to you and to the company, and then they are just doing their job, and this means the work is shit. And kind of when you want to build something special, you need everyone kind of on their toes, being kind of excited and want to go and want to push and want to sit and want to. It's kind of like when you have the feeling, kind of also here, sitting kind of probably at the first or second night, and everyone was still like this. Come on, I want to solve it. Yeah, these are the people you want to have. This is kind of the feeling you want to have. Yeah, because there will be so many hard times and everything will break. It's per definition, everything will break. And then you need a good culture and good people who are trusting each other to get to a good end. Because when this is not happening, because everything will break and every shit what can happen will happen. And for that, you really need this. So, team structure. Actually, to make it short, we had more or less the left structure, yeah, together with my co-founder and then CTO. This one should be the better one. I know that the left one is the easier one, at least. But so kind of the difference what you have here is on the one hand, you really have structured by product, and every product has every functionality. On the other hand, besides kind of a few, I actually don't know the English expression. In Germany, it's Stabsstellen. It's kind of some external resources where everyone has access to. Like, don't make sense that everyone has like a finance office, yeah, or everyone has a human resource office, but probably even that later, or everyone has a legal, yeah. But this one, so that you really have a product and everyone in the team, you're really product focused. Think about when you grow, it's something totally different when you're one person, when you're 3 persons, when you're 6 persons. Actually, when you have 2 rooms instead of 1 room, this is a really big step. I didn't thought, but at least for us it really was, yeah, because you need new communication. Yeah? So, and you need structure. You definitely need structure. So important. And for sure, it's totally getting different than when you're kind of 15, when you're 30 people. Yeah? It's always different jobs, and you always have to adapt there. And you have to adapt your structure. And you have to talk about your structure, because when you don't talk about your structure and you don't show your structure, nobody knows the structure. You think everyone knows the structure. Nobody knows. When it's not written down and everyone has it in their face, nobody follows the structure. But then it's way more efficient. So actually, I don't want to talk too long about product, because I believe that you're better product people than I am. But to look on it actually from the business side. What I realized is, first of all, there are things what users find that are great, and users have a lot of ideas. It's good to listen to users, yeah, but it's also bad to listen to users, because you should follow your vision, what you think, and every user is kind of part of this vision, but they also have their own idea of what they need, and they are all different, and they all have these needs, but never ever start and just develop what your users love. Yeah, because first of all, not everything makes sense. Second of all, not everything is developable. And third of all, when it's getting you down from your path, it's really, really bad, because you lose focus, and you're really building up complexity. But actually, what users love, what is feasible, and then kind of you have the one part, you really also have to find it out. Because when you only do what's feasible and kind of what you like, you're not on the right path. You also kind of should bring the things together and get to this middle. And normally you have then these two roles, the product manager and the engineer, what you can kind of bring together in this point. So, product. What we have, actually what you all know, is kind of the beautiful data network effect. What are, for sure, the big ones have it, but also small companies can have it. And I think everyone knows it, but more users, more data, smarter algorithms, better product. Better product brings more users brings more data, and so on. So this is also a point why VC companies kind of love AI companies. But actually, for sure, you have kind of a problem, and it's kind of where to start. Because when you start today, right now, yeah, where the data should come from. And there are multiple strategies how to get through it. Actually, what we used is we just asked. And this happened and worked quite well. So actually, in the beginning, or still when you kind of enter Lisa and you want to get on the list, you have the ability kind of to say, okay, I'm all ready. I'm giving my data. Yeah? And then later, for sure, will that, by the way, right now it's still free to use, but in the future, this one will also, the people who get longer free access to the product. So just ask for the data. Yeah? Sometimes it's difficult, but often you can turn it around. Yeah, this is kind of the user side. When you go on the enterprise side, there's one thing what works, or what I saw what works with other companies, and one thing what don't works. The one thing what don't works is, hey, please give me your data. I make great things out of it, and you'll get it back. Normally not works. What works is, I'm a real expert, pay me X, Y, Z, then I'm looking at your data, yeah? And I can make probably great things out of it. This works, yeah? Because there it's kind of their part kind of to give you the money, the data, yeah? This is kind of where they say, okay, this is kind of the expert in the field, and kind of it's more or less consulting. And it's way easier for a company, for a bigger company, to buy consulting than to buy kind of some strange data or whatever. Yeah, it's like, where should they put it in? In accounting? Is it accounting? Because it's something like Excel? I don't know. It's like you have to give him the easy ways. Yeah. So for sure, there are other strategies like you can crowdsource it. You can build kind of Trojan horses. Yeah, it means like just building a product. What brings you the data, and you make it like so that you don't earn something in it just for grabbing the data. It's my Tesla. They're recording all the data. Yeah? There are companies where you can analyze your blood. For what they are doing it? To getting all the blood examples and getting all the blood as the data. Yeah? It's like there are photo apps. We're just there for grabbing all the photos. Why should they do it? Sure, because they have another business where they take all the photos and through analyzing it and getting the data. Then we have for sure public data, and don't forget data partnerships. Yeah, also a thing what you can work on. And what you know, often you don't need so much data. Yeah, especially when you're not on this 100% path. Just grab what you can. Yeah, it's not so hard kind of to build an app. It's not so hard kind of to build a landing page and say, hey, people, I'm searching for this kind of data, or really search for the data, or build a crawler. Let the crawler go through the internet when it's feasible. Just don't even build a crawler, just take import.io and build a crawler, take the data, build something out of it. Or take different data. Yeah? It's like, for Lisa, it's like, it's not a sales conversation, and this was kind of our big things that we had all the sales conversations, but kind of to make it smarter, we also used whole Wikipedia. Yeah, why not? Yeah, to put it into it, and to give it a better understanding. So, maximum value, or maximum scale, means vice versa, one and the other. So actually, you always have the idea, because you have this mission, this vision, that you want to do something great. And actually, when you want to achieve it, you have to get customers, and you have to scale it. And when you want to scale it, you need some money because you need more developers to make it better and to create more value. And when you want that, you kind of have to find them somehow. Now, short look on the watch. I have to hurry. To get customers, customers and investment. When the question is one or the other, always go for the customer first. Because actually, when you want to build a great company, like with a great scale, there's this typical way what it should go. It's called T2D3, means like you have to triple twice and you have to double 3 times. Actually, it's starting with around when you make 1.7 million in a year. So it's around 100,000 euros a month. Why it's starting with that? Because it's say, okay, at this point you kind of have the product market fit. Yeah, when you're making 100,000 euros a month, you have a real product market fit. A lot of people at least want to buy it, that you go this way. And then you have to triple just twice and double 3 times, and then you have a unicorn, aka $1 billion company, because you make 100 million approximately a year in revenue. And when you have this, your valuation is normally around 1 billion. So customer acquisition. Everything starts with the price. Really, really important. Because when you want to get to kind of this 100 million, you have to calculate, okay, how many customers do I need to have? And you should also know, okay, how many customers are possible for me. So, because when you get like 100,000 euros, it's something different as like when you get 10 euros. Because when you only get 10 euros, sure, you need 10 million customers. Are there 10 million people and users for you? So think about this way, how much you get. And when you have a price in your head, the first price, minimum multiply it by 5 and take this as your first price. Because it's super common, especially when you're not experienced kind of in the business area, that startups are most of the time too cheap. At least take a normal, good price, solid price, multiply it by 5. Then you normally have a good suggestion for it. So, channels. You have to create just channels. You have a great product, and when you think about it, actually regarding idea, it's quite easy. You already build it, here, a whole week long, kind of a great product, what you can use, Sure, you can you put it online, make it open source, but actually to implement it, to test it, to put out kind of different other values, yeah, a report, some additional data, some results, what they can work with, you have a great product, yeah, what it can do. And now is the question then kind of how to get customers for that. And there should be, I want to explain you with that, why it makes sense that there's a part who's really looking after the product and there's a part who's really looking after the business. Yeah? So actually, when we look at the sales channel strategy, you have to think about the state of your customer. Yeah? When I talk, I especially talk about enterprise customers because like with AI in B2C and customer, I always would be too afraid kind of that Google or Facebook will come around the corner someday and kind of grab it from me. But besides that, actually how people see today kind of when you come and say neural nets or AI, it's like they know, oh, there was kind of Garry Kasparov, then there were like Watson, and oh, at last there was a big breakthrough in Go, and now everyone is getting crazy. And when you come them with this, it's kind of, it stops. You can show it, but at least from the top level, they will not understand it. Yeah, they don't know they don't get deeper into it. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. That means think about what is the value and kind of where do I want to go. And actually, one dirty secret, just copied from a really great presentation. When it comes to successful deploying AI in the real world, half the battle has to do with expectation management and social engineering, not technology progress or progress. Means it doesn't depend so much what you can, yeah, how good your software is. It's actually, I think, you can show it tomorrow when you present your solution. It's more or less about kind of what you tell them and what they can expect. Yeah, when they are expecting the almighty AI, you just can't fail. Yeah, it's more about to make them exciting about the possibilities and say, okay, which way you want to go together with them. So channels. When I talk about kind of these values, in the end, when you sell to a person and he gets to his boss, the boss don't ask, have you used AI? No, he asks, hey, show me some KPIs why it was worth spending the money on you. Yeah? He's asking how much money do I get back, so how much return of investment do I get? Yeah? And in the end, everyone, something should go faster, yeah? Should have less cost, or make you more revenue. It always gets down kind of to these three things. Yeah? So you come to say, you're faster, you have less cost, or you earn more money. It's quite easy. So you can always break it down to that. So for us, it was like, okay, save 70% time writing emails, aka 19 days a year. Everyone knows, okay, when my employee need 19 days less, because on average you write 27 days emails a year, 19 days less writing, 19 days, I can multiply it in my head, okay, how much does it cost for me? Quite easy. So actually, why these channels? Because there are two things what you need kind of when you deploy AI or have a working AI company. Yeah? You have on the one hand the product market fit, but the product market fit comes with two things. And the one thing is that your lifetime value, the LTV, is 3 times higher than your customer acquisition cost, because you sure have other costs. You have development costs, you have rent. Yeah? So you need to acquire a customer for like 1/3 of that what he is spending over his whole lifetime. And second is, months to recover, the customer acquisition cost should be under 12 months. So actually you can spend everything what you earn from the person in the first year to first get him. Yeah, it's also important. So you should and can spend money, and you have to spend money to get new customers. Yeah. So it's always a big thing. What we saw with startups, it's like you say, yeah, we want to have a lot of customers, and it's like, yeah, how much do you want to spend? Nothing. Yeah. It's also often not working. And think about it. It's like really the first steps, even are for free. I'll just let you know how it works. So when you're getting new customers, yeah, when you're now getting out and getting your solution, this slide is for one thing to show you even the best way of getting customers. Yeah, it brings you a conversion of 3.6%. Means 4 person out of 100. It's super common that most of the people don't need your solution. Yeah? And there are a lot of different ways how to do it. Yeah? So normally 13% from lead to opportunity, 6% from opportunity to deal. And this is a pure average. Yeah? And sales needs time for 84 days, 18 days, yeah, from opportunity to deal. So it takes time, it takes money, it takes effort. And when you put effort in, you also get something out. Really, really sure. And quite fast. And these are totally average. It can be way faster, but it can also take way longer. But normally when you have just a really focused solution, it's easier and faster. Yeah? So, and when you look over sales, normally what's quite easy for you, you have to build a list with people you think they could buy it. You just send them mails, you qualify them, you ask, do you need it? Make a demo, negotiate the price, and close it. And on all the way, what you have multiple of tools what you can use. Yeah? And there's also for all the other channels, yeah, what you have. You always have a lot of support tools. So what should you choose? Choose something what makes sense for you. Where you think, I think that's a cool way to do it. This is a way how I wanted to get approached. Yeah? How I think this makes a lot of sense for me. Yeah? Use it, test it. It's like when you look into the most companies on what kind of low level they are with digitalization, yeah? And you have the possibilities to scale your effort with multiple tools because you're firm with how to use it. And probably you can even use one kind of what have some neural nets and are super efficient. Your chance of being successful is so much higher, yeah, than just the normal person, average running around and speaking to people. Yeah? You can scale what you do. So do it. And these are a lot of different channels, and there are even more channels. So when you ask me, in the beginning, there's only one channel who's kind of the real channel, and this is the sales channel. So what does it mean? Because it's kind of in the beginning, more or less, and a little bit also an unscalable hack. Yeah? You have to talk to your customers to know kind of what is their reaction. What do they want, what they don't need. And when you know that and have this, then you can go and take one of the channels and kind of scale it. Yeah? Because in the beginning, you often have like different things. Yeah? What they want to know. Do they want to know, okay, are the customers, how good is my own chatbot? Are the customers, how good is the chatbot what I'm using? Or do they just want to know the engagement? Or do they want to know how can I extract and increase the return of investment for my, so what is their question? Yeah? Do they want to just know if it's just running at all? Yeah? Could be also possible. So, as you get the slides, there is so much good material on the internet. Read it and read and read and read, and just follow a tactic, follow a strategy. It's not so important which one. I tell you take one of these, but the important thing is that you have a strategy. So, and when you have customers, you can also ask, okay, now I want to grow faster. Do I take venture capital? Yeah. Do you really want to have venture capital? It's like a lot of startups, a lot of companies, a lot of founders just take venture capital because it's cool, and they heard it, and it's the normal way when you're a startup. But always think about when you don't have to, because you have this awesome product, and you did some sales, and it's super easy for you to do sales. Think about if you don't put the effort in sales, then to put the effort in finding capital. Because finding capital and getting someone to invest in you is also just sales. And it's really hard. It takes much time. And when it takes much time of you, of the founder of the company, it also makes the company really, yeah, you're not there. You cannot work in the company. So it's a real risk for the company when you don't get it, yeah? Because often you plan, okay, I get it in 5 months, and then my money are 6, 12 months, whatever. And then my money runs out. When you're then running out of money and you don't have it, yeah, you break. Yeah. When you do sales and you see, okay, it's working better, it's not so. So really think, because it's also a lot of pain. Yeah. There are more persons who have their own interests who want something from you. And you have to talk to them and work with them. And it takes a lot of time. So when you say, yeah, I want it, you have to know, is it something for you? Yeah? Because you have a product, and it's the shit for sure. I know this. So you have the market, yeah, and you have investor interests, yeah. And this means that often it just don't fit. You need a big market. When you just think, okay, about, hey, I'm going, I have now the really cool opportunity to give every chatbot creator to test if they have a good chatbot or not. But then you think, okay, how many chatbots are there out there? How many money do they make? And then I'll get like 5% of their value. You probably don't come to $1 billion. Yeah? When you say, okay, probably every person that chats in the future needs like an antivirus program what checks if it's speaking to a bot or not, because people are getting paranoid, then probably the market is way bigger. But then is it then the market and the antivirus market? At least you have to get to a point where your company can become $1 billion big, because if not, an investor will not invest in you because it's an investment strategy. They only invest in companies, and all of them, when you can become this big. Before, some angel investors, and there is more, they have a private interest in what you're doing, or they like you really much. And then really see if your product fits in it. Yeah, it's like product means like when you're doing coffee, no venture capitalists invests in coffee. Yeah, just the coffee. Probably there are something, and now they write me, hey, I know this brand who got venture capital, and it's like, you know what I mean. But normally, when you do something with neural nets and do a great tool, it's normally fundable. We have the market, and it should for sure also fit to the investor interest. Yeah, when you just have something great and say, okay, I do Bitcoin mixing, and the investor thinks, oh damn, but it's not fitting to my interests. Yeah. Also, a lot of because I'm not allowed to invest in it. On the other hand, a lot of investors have special topics. They have medicine. They have tech. Yeah. They have HR. So really specialized in specific fields. They are e-commerce investors. So when you have a tool and they are only investing in e-commerce, you don't have to come to them. And especially the stage in which are they investing. There are some investors who are just, when they want to spend like 2 million at least, or 5 million, and you are really fresh with 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, you don't have to come to them. So there are clear rules and steps what you can take, and actually can read it, Christoph Jan's blogspot, when and where to raise how much money. So the best thing what you can have is kind of an unfair competitive advantage. For us, at least the story was, yeah, who has this sales conversations for Microsoft? The data. No one. They are not on the market. But we worked before, so hey, we got all the data. This is our unfair competitive advantage. On the other hand, another competitive advantage could be your access to talent. And there, actually, this is something what you have, yeah? Because kind of finding the real experts in the field who can do the specific tasks, the specific linguist task, this can be a real unfair competitive advantage, yeah? And just kind of for being you here and making like 10 friends who are in the field and who all will go their way, and having them and have the ability to kind of recruit them or to work something out with them. And even at your universities, yeah? At the DeepHack network, at here, this whole network, this is a competitive advantage. Yeah? Think about it. It brings you really far. Because people like you are so rare. It's like, we also have like people from 19 nations, yeah, because we source from all over the world. Just to get really the right person with the right skill who's really good and fit to your company, it's hard. And kind of to have there a good network is a really advantage. So, but right now is also a really good time. Yeah? Even in every pitch deck, standing AI. And when not on the first side, it's on the third side. It's like 5 years ago, everywhere were standing social. And right now, it's really a great time. There's getting a lot of money into it. I think it's a little bit like in the beginning of the internet. Yeah? It's like, so probably 1995, and everyone thinks, are we not already too late? Probably. No, you're not. It's just the beginning of this whole movement. And kind of everything, every chart what you take is this beautiful thing, and the most likely thing what you like to do as an entrepreneur is like painting hockey curves. Yeah. Hockey curves. So everything is going up, and I think it's not only because of the market, it's really the best thing to be in and to go with it. And when we look at the market, what expected, I think this is way too conservative, what I found. And also when you kind of want to keep more in the specific field, what are you now developed in, when you look like chatbots, how they are growing in comparison to apps grow, it's way more impressive. Yeah? But to get back, what are the next steps for you and what you should do? Now, actually, as you have something, you have a product. At least when you're one person and you want to do it, you're a team, you can do it. When you're a multiple person, even better. Don't expect in the beginning to have kind of the perfect team. Say, okay, now I first need the great sales guy, I need the business guy, I need the great infrastructure, whatever to start. Nah, this is just start. Really, just start. It's like when you want to start, just start. Think about it. As further you are in the process, as better persons you get, and as less equity you have to give them because you're further in the process. Just when you're one person, it's enough. You can go and start. Yeah. Next thing is, yeah, for sure the vision. You should know where you want to go and where you run, because just I want to have a company. It's not a reason for having a company or doing something. It's like there are also great companies outside and great things, but we know what. Then think about what's your pricing. It's quite complicated, but just take a guess, multiply it by 5, good enough. So actually, like in 10 minutes, 5 minutes, you're already at this point. Then select 50 customers, 50 person where you think, oh, this makes sense. Write them an email, write them on Facebook, write them on LinkedIn, whatever, write them 50 messages. You'll find out you definitely find 50 persons. Or just search for email grabber. There are enough out there in the market. Write these 50 emails. Tell them about your product. If it's ready or not, doesn't matter. You know, if you, there's not standing somewhere, create a product. Yeah? It's not. First, ask them if they want to buy it, yeah? And if they need it. And if you have a good reply and have a good feeling that a lot of people say, hey, yeah, I want it, it's great, let's do it, then probably make also 50 calls and talk to the people and ask what specifically they want, think about what you probably can do, and say, yeah, cool, great, you're the first on the list, or by the way, you get a big rebate. What without the rebate is then your normal price, by the way. You get it because you're the first to test, and yeah, this is the testing phase. And then you have your first customer and can go. And after that, when you say, yeah, let's go, let's do it, then, by the way, I have no clue how to incorporate a company in Russia. In Germany, it's a little bit of pain, but it works. Yeah, then incorporate a business, build a website. You don't need anything before. You first should know if someone needs it and if really it makes sense. And in the end, it's just to say, I really believe it's it will be you guys, yeah? It will be you, and you also have not only the pleasure, but also the duty to change all of that. Because it's really the best time, yeah? It's kind of this beginning of this movement, and there's so much empty space, yeah, and where we can go, and kind of so much value what we can create with all the capabilities what you have, yeah. It's like all the tools, and just think about when you transform all the economy just with the capabilities what you have. And I really deeply believe that this will happen. And so this is why I think right now it's a super exciting time. It's better with a company than without a company, but at least I also have a plan kind of what to do then and kind of how to take the first steps towards it. And I wish you, when you take the way, a lot of luck, and for sure you're always welcome when you have questions to contact me. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter, for the very inspiring presentation. And so, any questions?
Thank you for sharing your ideas. Can you also share some ideas maybe about co-founders? Are they really necessary, or some? What do you think about them?
Two things. First, no. They are not necessary. Second, it's way better with. And it's better with 2 co-founders than only 1, because then you're 3. And this is the most important decision what you take on in your whole company way. So really take the time. It's kind of like to marry a person. You actually take more time with him, talk more to him, take more decisions with him, have more life with him or her than kind of with your loved ones. So it's the most important, and you really need someone who's, you really should respect him. Yeah, you really should also be working for him. Yeah, and one more thing, you should set in the beginning clear rules. Yeah, and you should only not set the clear rules, you should also incorporate them. So write it down when someone is leaving the company, when to get what. And you should use just numbers who are market conform, because they are there for a good reason. For example, we gave our first employee like way too much shares because I wanted to be a nice guy and be cool. I've like over the time really angered me. Yeah, and there's for good. You can start without a co-founder, because I also started without a co-founder. But after kind of these 3-4 months, I had a website, I had a first customer, and then I was capable of getting someone, what I thought, way more experienced, at least, that I was. Yeah. So.
Thank you.
Peter, what do you think about HR agencies? Do you use them? What do you think about external recruiters?
I think external recruiters, you need them when you're after Series A to BC, and then you kind of need fast, really good people. Then you need it. Actually, it's like buying salespeople, yeah, and hopefully good salespeople. And then it makes sense, yeah, because it's nothing so expensive than to lose time. Besides that, as HR is the most important thing what you can do, as I really showed, yeah, there's one great comparison. It's like when you put, or fan of FC Bayern Munich, so soccer team, really good soccer team, or Real Madrid kind of on the field, and even you would coach them, they probably win versus, I don't know how good a coach you are, but expecting you're not a good coach, or I would coach them, yeah, I'm not a good coach, soccer coach, they just win, yeah, because you have such a great team, yeah, and this is kind of difference. Yeah. And yeah, because it's so important, yeah, take experts also from outside, but also have always an HR department, and not only HR department, keep it with the CEO or someone of the founders in the company, not take everyone, put everyone out, I think.
And not on the early stage.
Not on the early stage, because it's too expensive, and yeah, you should look for your own people, because it's also sales. You have to let the other one knows why he should join you. Yeah? And there's again this vision mission, because I have this idea to, I have to, yeah, and you should, because it makes the world a better place. This is kind of always the second sentence.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's say that you are trying to build a product that heavily depends on the data about the users you have, and when you are on the early stage, you don't have much of the data. How would you approach the deals regarding a data partnership with other startups or maybe with big companies?
A good partnership, and now it's like you can throw. There's a saying. Okay, I keep that. There's a saying, kind of, you can throw a coin in a savings here, but it's like in a partnership, both should get value out of it. Yeah, in a partnership means kind of two things. So what kind of value do you can bring? Yeah, you can later bring a result. You say you give me the data now, so I analyze it for you. You can improve your product with it. And kind of, you always get it lifelong for free. Make 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, never lifelong. Or you say, hey, or I'll look over your data, clean it, I tell you when you have something, some problems. I analyze the data for you. Yeah, you also have to give something. Yeah, I think this is kind of the good thing. And third thing, you're doing it because of a reason. Yeah, because you say it's kind of. People are losing so much time using apps every day because they have fucked up UI, UX. So I need a lot of user customer data to solve this, because I want that people spare a lot of time. I'm really getting angry every day. So please, don't you think, company XYZ, that this is a really great thing to do? Yeah? And shouldn't your app get way better? I can help you. I know why I have this way, but I'm still missing data. Can you help me? And I will help you.
Yeah, thanks. What about, well, when the startup is in the early stage and nobody knows whether it will actually succeed, it's kind of hard to show the value unless you have some crazy valuation. What's the best option in this case? Because it's kind of the toughest of the three.
Can you repeat that regarding?
I mean, how would you approach the situation when you are maybe on the pre-A stage and nobody knows whether the product will work, and you need to get another company to give you data, and you probably don't have millions to buy it. How do you describe the value for them?
Multiple things. First, nobody said it would be easy. It's hard. Second, do you need especially this data? There's probably somewhere else some other data, yeah, what you can use. Always think about kind of to take more focus, so you need less data, yeah. And but in the end, you realize, okay, there is only this one company, yeah, from what I can get the data, but they have all the data. Ask them for part of the data. They give me so many examples, and I can show you that when you give me way more, all your data, I can create the value. Yeah? And regarding the name, nobody gives a fuck about you. Even your 100 people have employed, 200 people employed, you're still no brand. Probably when you're really niche, but it's like probably in your city. Yeah? But it's like, we're honest, like, when we die, would you have noticed if the Sasko died? Hey, we are 34 people and we are the coolest, yeah. So you should have noticed us. So now it's like nobody knows about you until you're really, really, like at least have the Series B, you're in the media big, and so you always have the problem. But don't. On the other hand, you have so much to offer. Yeah, you have so much expertise. You've a young team, yeah, you have new ways, and even think about enterprises. They have such a big need for innovation, and they cannot do it inside because they are too big, they are too slow, and you can give them an opportunity. And you would fucking do it. No, you would take money for sure, as we learned, but you could also do it for free. Yeah, they have an interest to work together with you. They really have an interest because they cannot innovate inside. Yeah? And then it's just let them make contracts, just make easy contracts. Yeah? It's take one off the internet. Also, contract was for me when I started a business, like a big roadblock. It's like, oh damn, I need customers and I don't have legal contracts. It's like, I think the first one we got from a customer, and then we just adapted it. Or you keep it from the internet. It's like, and just put it somehow together. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you for the very inspiring talk. I thought that people generate ideas very quickly, or eventually, or on purpose. So I would like to ask you, would you like to use a service to quickly evaluate ideas, business ideas, for 50 euros a month, for example?
If I would buy,
if you would like to use such a service,
me?
Yeah, to quickly assess business ideas.
I would throw 50 euros at it. So now comes the big but, and you know.
Sorry.
And now comes the big but. And when I would analyze it from a business-wise, it's not often that people are searching for ideas. Most of them, they have ideas. Third of that, I must have been a little bit desperate, and it has to do that. But kind of 50 euros is okay, whatever. Third, you have the problem from all kind of information services. As soon you have to log in, the information on the other side is useless. And when it's not useless, it has no kind of price anymore for me because I have the information. But as long as I don't have the information, I don't know if I should pay this 50 euros. Yeah? This is pure information problem, what you always have regarding that. But regarding ideas, it's always a good, when you have an idea, talk about the idea. Talk about probably not with the biggest competitor on earth, yeah, straightforward, directly with him, but like with everyone, discuss it, yeah, because it will change. And yeah, when I'm on search, why not?
Thanks.
Okay, last question.
What did you exactly mean then you said about that Lisa passed the Turing test?
No, we wanted to pass the Turing test. Not passed, unfortunately.
How did you check?
This is a great question. And by the way, it's a big, not a big problem, but it's kind of a challenge. What we have right now in the moment is I said, hey, set KPIs and show the KPIs to your customers and show them a great KPI for a good conversation. It's so different. It's like what customers think about a great conversation. It's like, so what people write, yeah, in emails, it's like you wouldn't expect it. Yeah. It's so strange. People write, it's dramatic, and in business emails, yeah, really business emails. So make a good KPI. It's still a challenge. We don't actually. So first, we haven't passed, and second, what we will use is how much has changed in the message. So how has happened? You have the draft, and then you read over it and click send, or you don't click send and change something. You can erase everything. You can erase a word. You can erase a sentence. So this tells us, okay, how good or how bad is the system. This is a little bit kind of the way we are planning to do, but it's still in the progress in the moment.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we have a next talk right now, should have it. So let's say thank for the Peter once more for his talk. And thank you for coming in Moscow.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. It's great here. So really like it. And I'm for sure, first, you can always write me. You're really welcome. Or I'm also here another half an hour. So you can ask me questions. Cool. Thank you.
I suggest to have a 5-minute break. Then we will take a talk from different spectrums.